You think your body belongs entirely to you. It doesn't. Right now, deep inside your cells, ancient code is running. Code written by hands that went extinct tens of thousands of years ago. Code from species you've never heard of. Species that hunted under different stars, breathed different air, and vanished long before your civilization began. We call it ghost DNA. And it is not a metaphor. Neanderthal DNA is literally woven into your genome, influencing your immune system, your skin, your sleep, your mood, even your darkest archaic human instincts. So here's the question that should haunt you. Are you really a modern human? Or are you the final chapter of a story that started 3 million years ago? The Neanderthal inheritance. About 60,000 years ago, our ancestors walked out of Africa and into a world already occupied. The Neanderthals had been here for 400,000 years. Stocky, powerful, intelligent, and apparently not entirely unwelcoming. They interbred with us. And here is what that means for you right now, today. If you have European or Asian ancestry, roughly 1 to 2% of your DNA is Neanderthal. That sounds small. It is not small. Neanderthal DNA has been directly linked to how your skin responds to sunlight, a trait that helped early humans survive harsh northern winters. It shapes the proteins in your hair follicles. It primes specific immune cells to recognize ancient pathogens that our African ancestors had never encountered. But the inheritance runs deeper than skin. Researchers at Vanderbilt University analyzed the medical records of thousands of people alongside their Neanderthal genetic variants. What they found was striking. Neanderthal DNA influences your risk of depression. It affects your chronotype, whether you're a morning person or a night owl. One specific Neanderthal gene fragment significantly increases the likelihood of nicotine addiction. Think about that. Your archaic human instincts, the pull toward darkness, the craving, the restlessness at 2 a.m. They may not be modern pathologies. They may be 300,000-year-old survival programs, still running on hardware they were never designed for. The Denisovan shadow. In 2010, scientists extracted DNA from a tiny finger bone found in a Siberian cave. The bone was 60,000 years old, and it belonged to a human species nobody had ever seen before. We named them the Denisovans. We have almost no fossils of them. A finger bone, a few teeth, part of a jawbone found in Tibet. And yet, we know more about their genome than we know about many species with hundreds of specimens, because their code survived. Ghost DNA living inside the people of East Asia, Southeast Asia, and Oceania. In some Papua New Guinean populations, up to 5% of DNA is Denisovan. But here is the most extraordinary part. The Tibetan Plateau sits at an average elevation of 14,000 feet. The oxygen is so thin that most humans who travel there develop altitude sickness within hours. Their blood thickens, their hearts strain, their brains swell. Yet Tibetan people have lived there for thousands of years, thriving at heights that would incapacitate the rest of us. The reason? A gene called EPAS1, a variant so powerful, so perfectly adapted to low oxygen environments, that researchers initially couldn't explain where it came from. It was too different, too efficient. It came from the Denisovans, a species that no longer walks this earth past its most critical survival tool to the people who would need it most. That is not extinction. That is legacy. The unnamed ghosts. But Neanderthals and Denisovans are only the ghosts we've named. In 2020, geneticists at UCLA analyzed the genomes of 405 West Africans and found stretches of DNA that didn't belong to any known human group. Not Neanderthal, not Denisovan, not modern, something else, something older. They called it a super archaic ghost lineage. The interbreeding likely happened around 50,000 years ago, but the group itself, whoever they were, may have split off from the main human family tree over 1 million years earlier. They may have been Homo erectus. They may have been something we've never found. We may never find them. There are no bones, no tools attributed to them, no cave paintings, only echoes, faint whispers encoded in the living. And here is what this means in total. The human genome is not a clean singular history. It is a palimpsest, a manuscript written over and over where each new script contains ghostly traces of everything written before. You are not just Homo sapiens. You are a library, And some of the books inside you have no author we can name. Here is the story we were told. Modern humans won. We were smarter, more adaptive. We outcompeted every other human species on Earth, and they faded away. But that is not what the genome says. The genome says we merged. Neanderthals did not simply disappear, they dissolved into us, leaving fingerprints in our immune cells, our skin, our sleeping patterns, our sadness. Denisovans did not simply die. They handed us the key to the roof of the world. The unnamed ghost did not simply vanish. They became part of the chorus. We are not the survivors. We are the sum. And that changes everything about how we see ourselves. Because if extinction is not always erasure, if a species can live on through the people who come after, then what we do with our time here carries a weight we rarely acknowledge. One day, Homo sapiens will also be gone. Maybe in 10,000 years. Maybe in 1,000,000. But gone. And the only question that matters is this. What will we leave behind? Will our code survive in something that comes after us? Something kinder? Something wiser? Or will we be the first human species in 3 million years of history to leave nothing, not even a ghost?